enterprise, you start to realise that we can do that in textile. John talked about textile. There's no reason why that finance arm, the social enterprise finance arm, can then invest in hemp factories. Like if we plant hemp, we have a decorticator on site that pulls the fibre apart, there's your insulation board. Through the enterprise bargaining agreement, we push the use of the insulation board. Why? Because it's healthier and safer. And we capitalise up the social enterprise. We then make textile. And then through the enterprise bargaining agreements, we have nurses, ambos, firefighters, construction workers decked out in the workers' enterprise clothing. And so we grow that social sector of the economy. We don't any longer seek convincement before we act. We as the historic left and the working class, we do it. It's like union solidarity, you know. We could have sat around, in fact many wanted to, for years, in debate as to whether or not it would work. You know, and that's a political disease, you know. The thing is, you get out and just do it. And yeah, sure, you make mistakes and you learn from those, and the rest is history. That's what I call history. That's the past. Experience. You know, history isn't, well, let's work out what to do first and then do it. You know, it's like if you're in a blue, you're going to think about which hand you're going to hit with. No, I don't think, let the circumstances dictate that. It'll work out whether it's a left or a right. You know? It'll work out when the duck or you get knocked out. So it's moving with the world in a way that's concrete and practical. Starting off small. Union Solidarity did that. I think it was Chris Spindler. It was a little blue in, I think you were working there, Anthony.
My shop,
yeah. And it was just tiny, relatively, but an important dispute. For those workers, absolutely important. And it went on from there. So you sort of get out and you do it, and you learn as you go. Well, we're doing the same thing. We're going to get this factory going. We're going to get out, do the training. We've got a 2-hour curriculum to go across the organising teams and the shop stewards across unions. We're going to get out and do that training so that shop stewards, organisers and activists own this process. We're going to sell the union bonds, a couple of bucks a week, and you're a bond holder, and any union member can be. And those bonds will slowly build up the collective surplus that we need week by week. And unions in turn, because their members are bond holders, will have representation on the Earth Worker Social Enterprise Association. And so slowly but surely we'll build that democratic sector of the economy. And will we make mistakes? Of course we'll make mistakes. That's just life. And we'll learn from those mistakes and make it better and stronger. We'll then seek to do what we're calling public social partnerships, as distinct from public-private partnerships. Public social partnerships with governments at 3 levels. Providing, we are arguing, government with a new role, with a new role within the economy. Neoliberalism has basically ended the effective role for government. Look at the tax debate, 40% tax debate, so-called. So much of where capitalism's at the moment is superseded representative democracy. So we're saying that with a public social partnership, we would seek regulatory arrangements from government, frameworks from government that allow the growth of the not-for-profit democratic social sector. And basically, other than that, keep out of our way. Just provide us the framework where we can make it happen. 5% of the surplus we create will go towards social justice. And we've picked out youth homelessness and the aged care waiting list in hospital, dental and optical. Let capitalism compete with us. It's fine. You do that better. You put 5% of your surplus, your profit, towards social. You do that, we'll go to 10. You compete with us. Compete with us for the collective good. Compete with us in the aim to bring carbon down out of the atmosphere. Compete with us in the growth of manufacturing back into the economy again. Can they do it? No, they can't do it. They cannot invest and get the return on the investment in a culture that's based on consumption. So they're in this bind. So they are the objective conditions that will see us succeed in the development of this historic project, the creation of a social sector of the economy. I guess I'm going around the world with the discussion on it because you're basically the representative of many of the traditions of the left, and some of you not quite so left in your background. So I guess I wanted to have a fairly broad-based discussion and then answer any specific questions that you might have. We at the moment, I'm led to believe, are some weeks away from a small amount of funding that we've been trying to get. That will then see us do a couple of things. One, the dairy farmers across Gippsland want to put our solar hot water unit into the dairy farms in Gippsland. That's National Party heartland.
Cooperative.
And so, yeah, the Workers' Cooperative solar hot water unit will actually put our solar hot water unit into the farms. Now that will be a major step forward. We're in the process of holding that discussion now and getting that negotiated through. Likewise, when we get the first union breakthrough to want to put the way in which we compensate workers or pay the wage increase, to put the clause in there that says, and our understanding is it's all legal and allowed even under these rotten laws that we've got at the moment, that the way in which workers are compensated or paid allows for workers to say, well, I want part of my increase in the form of the solar hot water. Remembering that hot water is 26% of your household bill. So it's better than money in your kit, because you no matter what happens with inflation or whatever, you are bringing that cost down permanently. Later, when we're producing the energy producing goods, we would negotiate again into the EBA for the cost of the power for workers. So the purchase of the green power will negotiate into the EBA. So we're looking more and more at a social wage. That's not just, I work for this boss, he takes the goods, pays me back a small percentage of what I've created for them, and then I go out and buy it back off myself effectively. Today, that's what we're doing. Think back to that statistic about investment capital. We're changing that. For those of you who are Marxists, you go back and you look at your Marx and Capital, and Marx refers to the co-ops as a new mode of production. And that like unions, it's an important progression and step forward in the experience of our working class communities. If you're not a Marxist and you're a Catholic, or you're a Catholic Marxist, plenty of encyclicals that would direct you into the cooperatives. If you're a Buddhist, look at what the Buddhists are doing in Thailand, Sulak Sivaraksa and people like that. They've got some communities that have effectively wiped out money altogether, entirely cooperativist base. So you can see around the world people are reaching towards cooperation, they're reaching towards democracy, but they want to finally and one day achieve a situation where the economy will be one gauge by which we determine the will of the people. Okay, so I'll answer any specific questions you have.